think I have to do this right. Yeah, Your Excellencies, we are so honored by your presence today. We have the Ministers of Home Affairs, Agriculture and Transport here to help us celebrate the closing of this wonderful occasion conference. Now, as you know, this event was designed as a celebration of the twin birthdays of His Majesty, the King and the spiritual leader. This was a very heavy responsibility. But I want to congratulate the people of Bhutan, and especially, our co-hosts, the Taranel Foundation, and all the peoples who have worked so hard, to make this event so successful. What I said earlier in my opening remarks to the conference, we came, we saw, we were conquered. We were awed by the majesties of your mountain, the spiritualities of your rivers, the glory of your land, and the beauty and dignities of your people. Now, in trying to sum up what this conference was all about, we are trying to actually operationalize the wonderful concept of gross national happiness. So I'm not going to try to summarize what many of you, experts from Bhutan and from abroad, have poured their hearts out, showing what was possible to go down this path of gross national happiness. I was struck by Dasho Kamaura's that happiness depends upon the family, depends on the integrity of the village, the country, and the planet. So, trying to understand the principles of what Her Majesty said that founded Taranel Foundation, the importance of dignity, the reliance on local wisdom, and finally, true partnership. We constructed a message, not a declaration. We toyed with the idea of a declaration, but I think it's more true. It is a message of how some of us feel that what we have probably can draw from the last 2 days. So the participants gathered here at this conference, convened under the royal patronage of Her Majesty the Queen Mother Dorji Wangmo Wangchuk. First, we know in our hearts that it is possible for humanity to live in harmony with itself and the earth. We acknowledge that economic growth alone cannot secure human flourishing or planetary balance. We recognize the urgent need for a new development model rooted in ecological balance, human fulfillment, and cultural wisdom. We believe that real transformation to gross national happiness requires collective commitment and systemic redesign across all domains of life. So what we would like to reflect on is to invite all friends, wherever they are, in Bhutan, in Asia, in Europe, Americas, Africas, everywhere, to join us in building an enabling ecosystem to operationalize GNH. So how could be this done? And I think this conference, as it unfolds, show that first we must measure what matters. We must do as what Bhutanese have done to redefine success across all 7 spheres of life: environmental, physical, emotional, social, occupational, intellectual, and spiritual. But we must also cultivate the right mindset, the right paradigm and integrals of self to awaken self-awareness, compassion, and coherence in action. And I think we heard very clearly we need to embed deep observation and ecological design principles in how we live, build, and regenerate our ecosystems. We must also develop ethical and inclusive digital public infrastructures to empower grassroots communities and enable open, transparent governance. We should foster place-based, holistic education that nurtures lifelong learning, ecological literacy, and regenerative leadership. Leadership with faith, and dignity and values. And we must strengthen regenerative livelihoods, local communities, economies, and circular finance systems that serve both the people and the planet. And revitalizing mindful recreation and well-being practices to restore collective joy, creativity, and cultural resilience. And of course, we must build participatory and responsible local governance systems rooted in trust, shared stewardship, compassionate decision-making, and democracy of voice, and empowering all to make this journey possible. Now, so we further commit to nurturing an open, flexible, and living network of cooperation, beginning with those who are here today. This network, we hope, will serve to become a shared field for collaboration, learning, advocacy, and action, cultivating ecosystems of initiatives needed to operationalize GNH across villages, nations, and the world. So this seems to be a very long list of things to do. But I just want to repeat more precisely what I said earlier by this Spanish poet, Antonio Machado. Walker, there is no road. The road is made by walking. What we have done here today, amongst all many friends here, is to try to walk the road of gross national happiness. The vision was been set out by His Majesty. It is our responsibility and our duty to make that possible. And that could only have been possible, if I may say so, and I say this from the deepest part of my heart, on behalf of JOS, our foreign friends who are here, we would really like to thank, our partners, specifically Tarayana Foundation under the patronage of Her Majesty, the Queen Mother, led ably by Aung Chime, Sonam Pem, Dr. Sangye, Kicho, Tulsi, and many others I cannot name. I particularly want to thank them for their utter devotion to making this event a total success. Thank you. I cannot stop there, but I cannot do this before my dementia sets in. I have to thank our very able young MC for his patience and eloquence. I next have to thank all the staff of the Royal Academy for allowing us, and of course His Majesty, for allowing us to have this magnificent hall, to be here to convene this event. Thank you. Next, I would certainly want to thank all our speakers and panelists who have come so far away and shared their time, their wisdoms, their wit, their inspirations, all to give us ideas for which to walk down this future journey. Thank you very much. Of course, I cannot but thank all the young ones who have sat here patiently and all the participants to listen to all these words of wisdom, maybe lots of technical terminology that you've never heard before, and we hope a little bit of it, has been carried in your hearts for what you really want to do. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you for making this event possible. And last but not least, I have to thank my colleague, Snehapoda, and her team. I think they should all be thanked because they have worked effortlessly together with John Crawford at the University of Edinburgh, Glasgow, I beg your pardon. How can I make such a big mistake? And every single one of you, I know many of you have not slept and worked tirelessly, effortlessly to make this event possible. And of course, my last, thanks have to go to my team from GEOS, led by Eng, Ali, and all the other people, Sorry, I have to a little bit postscript. Thank you. I do have one postscript. In all these ventures of my life, I have to thank my wife for her patience, her love, and her support. Without all this could not have been possible. And so on that note, let me thank all of you for making this event a great success. What we will do tomorrow, before we embark on the tour for some of our foreign visitors, is to really sit down and reflect what we could do to be in true partnership with you on this journey towards global and gross national happiness. Thank you very much indeed. If I've forgotten anything, my sincere apologies. Any mistake that has been made in this conference, are all mine, But the success is due to all of you. Thank you very much indeed.